Yeah, I feel like once I got to a certain age where, I had known people long enough to see them radically change. Like there's the good friend from college who was, like a hippie who went to all the Fish concerts, who now is a corporate lawyer, or the person, the valedictorian from high school who never touched a drop of alcohol, who's now like an LSD shaman. Like it's funny to watch people over a lifetime change so much and so radically. But then also when you talk to them, they'll have a story about that change that makes perfect sense. And I sort of, I don't know, I think it was just a matter of observing this in my own friend group and watching it happen, and then also noting it from me. Like when I finished graduate school, when I finished my MFA, I was like, well, I have to move to New York City like all the other writers do. And so I was like, I did that, and I was trying to get into the publishing world, and trying to run in those kind of New York City circles. And then 10, 15 years later, I had a very pleasant life down in Naples, Florida, and that was completely different from the life that I had imagined myself to have. When I was in college, I sort of didn't believe in the concept of like property ownership, and then suddenly in my 40s, I'm like a homeowner, and
That's
like
right.
worried about my lawn.
Right.
So it's like
That's
people
right.
can really change, and I just thought I'm kind of charmed by that, and I'm also interested in the story we tell ourselves to justify that change, and the stories we create, almost the mythologies we create about ourselves. And so when I look back at this short story I had written in my 20s, this couple who were staring at each other from across the alley into their separate apartments and slowly falling in love with each other, I was just like, well, their relationship is beginning in storytelling. They're like inventing fantasies about the other. So maybe this is going to be a good container for all these other things that I'm thinking about. And yeah, so then I just started writing, and it became clear pretty quickly that it had legs.